Hello, and welcome back to Women for Wealth. So today I wanted to bring this to you because this is kind of a summary of how the big, beautiful bill is going to affect some of us and the positives and downsides. So I know you've heard the name floating around, the big, beautiful bill. It is a game changer and is full of incredible opportunities. So we need to be aware of that. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about investors, retirees, and executives. This new act is laying out a solid foundation for your financial future. One of the biggest wins is the higher estate and gift tax exemptions. So we're talking about a massive increase to $15 million for individuals and $30 million for married couples. And here's the best part, it's permanent and inflation indexed starting in 2026. That means that you could pass down your family business, a cherished vacation home, or a hard-earned investment portfolio with minimum tax burden. This is the ultimate tool for securing your legacy. If you're in a high tax area like New York, California, or New Jersey, you're going to love this. So the SALT, the state and local tax, that's what SALT stands for, S-A-L-T, state and local tax. The deduction has increased from $10,000 to $40,000. That is a huge relief. This is going to be meaningful savings directly to your pocket. For all of you who appreciate stability and certainty in your planning, the 2017 Tax Cuts and Jobs Act rates are now permanent. The top income tax rate is locked in at 37%, and that's avoiding a potential hike. This also means that there are favorable capital gains and dividend tax rates, and they're here to stay. Finally, let's talk about retirees. So if you're 65 or older, there's a new senior bonus deduction of $6,000 for you, or $12,000 for married couples. If both of you are 65 plus, the extra deduction significantly reduces your taxable income, easing the burden on your Social Security and other retirement incomes. Now let's talk about the business owners out there. If you're starting a business, or you have a business, or you're scaling a business, or you're planning a profitable exit of a business that you've built, this bill is a bonus for you. The new Qualified Small Business Stock, or QSBS, enhancements are an entrepreneur's dream. The exclusion for gains has jumped to $15 million, and the required holding period is now just 3 years, down from 5. The asset limit has also increased to $75 million, which means more businesses can qualify. This opens the door for so many more entrepreneurs to sell their ventures with zero capital gains tax. If this is part of your long-term plan, you absolutely need to reach out to your tax advisor and make sure your business is structured to capture the powerful benefit. And there's more benefits in the big, beautiful bill. Full deduction for manufacturing facilities. So if you're building a new manufacturing facility in the USA, you get 100% bonus depreciation. That's a massive incentive to invest in manufacturing. You can write off capital gains immediately. Thanks to enhanced Section 179 deductions, you can now write off qualifying equipment and property right away. This is a huge boost to your cash flow, allowing you to reinvest and grow even faster. R&D expensing has been restored. So R&D, research and development. This act restores 100% expensing for qualified domestic research and development. This is a win for innovation and companies pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And I'm going to star that and make sure I talk to my tax advisor about that, because my company does R&D for the grid, so that's something I need to look into. And y'all, I do take notes and print them out. There's a lot of numbers, there's a lot of specifics in this, and I did not want to get anything wrong, and I couldn't memorize all this. I couldn't keep all this in my head, which is why I think it's important that I printed it out so that I could go through it with you, because there's some really good stuff in here. There's a 20% small business deduction that is now permanent. This is huge. The 20% deduction for qualified business income is now permanent. That's substantial tax savings that can fuel your business's future. Okay. So we've talked about a lot of benefits, right? So the big, beautiful bill does have some downsides. I know we don't want to talk about it, but we need to. Knowledge is power. If you're knowledgeable, then you'll be able to benefit from this the most that you can. So be aware, do your research, adjust your plan as you need to. So let's talk about some of the downside. The first is a bit of an unknown. The Treasury is studying potential new required minimum distributions on Roth IRAs and large 401k balances. This uncertainty makes long-term retirement planning a little more complicated. So you'll need to watch this, and we'll keep an eye on how this develops. Something else that's new and unclear is the transaction tax on deals over $1 million. We're still waiting on these details, and it introduces a layer of risk for high value transactions. And the thing we also have to look at is we have to consider the potential for rising deficits. The tax bill may add to the government's debt, or it will add to the government's debt, and that could lead long-term issues like higher interest rates and inflation. Although I did see that the Fed is thinking about cutting rates again in September. Yeah, September. So look for that. Look for the rate cuts to happen in September. I think we need rate cuts. I think that the cost of borrowing money has cooled the economy beyond anything that we were worried about inflation. We've got kids that can't afford to buy a house. They've been saving up, but they're looking at what's available on the market. The housing market is insanely expensive right now. And throw on a 7% interest rate, and the kids just can't afford to buy their own house. I don't know, but I think we need to reduce, in my personal opinion, we need to reduce the interest rate, and we need to get it down to something that is more favorable. We need to build more houses. We've got to have more demand, or we've got to have more supply to meet demand. Sorry, I was on a tangent. Let's get back to the big, beautiful bill. So here's the bottom line. The bill is a powerful opportunity, but it demands action. These changes aren't just a list of new rules. They're tools that you can use to help build wealth and security and secure your legacy like never before. With decades of experience, we are passionate about creating tailored strategies that align to your unique dreams. Whether you're growing your business, optimizing your portfolio, or planning to pass down your legacy, these new tax laws are very powerful, but you need to be educated. So I hope this gave you a quick overview of some of the things that were hugely beneficial and some of the things that you need to be aware of. The key is to be proactive. You need to add this into your plan. When you put your wealth plan in place, you're going to have to look at it and you're going to have to tweak it occasionally. So talk to your tax advisor, tweak your plan as you need to, and make the most out of the big, beautiful bill. Don't let these opportunities pass you by. Connect with your tax advisor, connect with your wealth advisor, connect with us if you want to. Remember, wealth is your legacy, and it's time to build it. So let's build it. Until the next time, I wish you health and wealth.